what's up, bro?
Hey.
What's happening?
Welcome back. The voice of the streets is back. You feel me? Couldn't stay late for long. I can't even talk. But I'm back here.
You're back.
In this bitch.
We back.
Yeah.
What's happening, dude?
Just chilling, you know. My dad's dead.
Yeah.
Still dead.
Same, bro.
Still dead.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Have you checked?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah. I had a dream about him.
Sexually?
No.
what kind?
How you been, man?
Oh, shit. That was funny, bro. You just did the chimp thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. You see Drake's dick? Come on, did you see it?
No.
No?
We're not doing the Drake's meat thing.
Well, that's kind of gay to not have seen it.
Why?
That's gay.
How is that gay?
I do think that's my stance. If you haven't seen Drake's dick, that's kind of gay.
I just don't want to see my people that I look like I get content from like that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I won't even watch.
You're not curious.
No, I don't even watch Plug Talk.
I don't either.
Why don't you watch Plug Talk?
I think because it costs money.
But I mean, it's the internet. You can find every.
Oh,
scene.
Sure. Well, then maybe I
just go on sites.
I think I'm just broke.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I'll just go on sites and.
I got you. Well, then I'll definitely see it now.
I would see now.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was stopping me. I'm very curious.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, like
you're like Adam 22 though.
Eh.
You wouldn't let anybody fuck your wife?
Well, I don't have one, so I'm not sure. But I'm not like Adam 22. We have tattoos and we're white. He kind of sucks.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He's cool. He until you start to like get it. That's because I was the same way.
And it's weird because for a while. Mm-hmm. For a while. It's not like you get right in and you're like, this guy sucks. You're like, dude, this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then you hang around for a while.
If
dude,
you don't
sorry,
know
Adam 22. No offense to you, dude. You just...
Adam
did you see him jump out the window with the Sean Evans thing?
Yes. He's too old for that. Also, if you don't know who Adam 22 is, he's a podcast host on a popular hip hop.
Forgot we're recording. Oh, thanks. Welcome back to another episode of If This Doesn't Work. Hit the subscribe button so I don't kill myself.
Friend of the show.
Najee is here today.
Action.
Back in action. So if you don't know who Adam 22 is, I'd love to hear your description of him.
Adam 22 is a hip hop podcast host that got big. White.
Just because it's hip hop, I felt the need to say. Not that it matters.
Ex-BMXer who got big during like the SoundCloud era.
Oh, that's right.
Like
he was a bike rider.
Yeah, he like would interview and go on tour with like Lil Pump and all those like littles.
He started off being like a SoundCloud rapper thing. Well, like
he was the first one to embrace them because everybody else was clowning him.
Right. And what happened was he would do a lot of interviews with SoundCloud rappers who didn't blow up and no one gave a fuck.
Right.
And then a couple of those SoundCloud rappers blew up.
And then they
had
kept
their
talking
first
to him.
interview.
Right. So they kept coming back and it blew him up.
And then people would, so that's what got him huge. But then.
Now he's just.
He started dating an influencer.
Yes. Yes.
Who also had an OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. And would sleep with other women on OnlyFans sometimes.
They created a podcast.
Like that. And then
he just grew a network from his life. Like he did hip hop podcasts.
He realized the podcasting makes money, and his did, and then he made a bunch of little ones, and then did like a network.
Yeah, but at first, and it's like when you first digest him, just hearing even us describing that, it's like, damn, that guy seems pretty dirty.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't hate him. He's just on my nerves.
But then you hear he's just annoying.
I'm mad at you right now, Adam.
He's just annoying. Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
He's obviously listening.
Yeah, right. But where are we going with that? Oh, I won't watch any Plug Talk.
Oh, so now he's a porn star. So basically,
he does this, but he fucks with whoever he's in.
So him and his wife and child's mother have a podcast together where it's called Plug Talk, where they interview a porn star and then have sex with her on camera right after. So it's like podcasts and porn. And he's got his life set up so that's what he does. He podcasts and then he fucks and then so they're in the sex industry,
right?
But it was a very big deal, especially in the hip hop community, that he let somebody else fuck his wife,
right?
A black guy at that.
Mm-hmm. But we're saying this to say that recently, the guy that does Hot Ones, Sean Evans, started dating a female adult worker. I won't call her a porn star because she's not a star, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
A sex worker.
Yeah.
And Adam 22 made like some headline about she's got good pussy.
She might be a star.
A star?
I mean, I don't know. How many porn stars do you know?
I can name a couple.
They're probably older, though.
Yeah, but they're still stars. That's what makes them stars.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Phoenix Marie,
Valid point.
Jada Stevens.
Shout out to them fat
Those
asses.
are porn stars.
I see your style.
Porn stars. Riley Reid.
Look them up. Oh, there you go. You're trying to switch it up for a small ass. Riley Reid's a goat. But one of the true goats. Yeah. Riley, if you're listening, I know you are. Hi. There's
just some, but she's not one. But anyway, she dated this dude Sean Evans. Adam made it about him why they broke up because he said that she had good pussy, good for him.
Well, he just randomly posted, good, great, nice Sean. She has great pussy.
I think it was more of Twitter. Everyone finding out that they dated because he wanted it to be discreet.
Yeah, he blew his spot up for sure.
He told her about it that he wanted a discreet relationship, but then they showed up at the Super Bowl, which is oxymoron.
Yeah, I mean,
juxtaposition, let's be discreet, but show up to
it was just weird for Adam to do.
Yes,
that's all.
And he sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, he let he let somebody fuck his girl, and the internet went crazy about it. I'm sure they'll do. Well, they did it again already. I think they had a little game show to see who would fuck his wife.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel...
And people are like, you let a black man fuck your wife? And he's like, well, that's kind of racist that you even asking it like that, you know? But he had a huge hammer. The guy
I just think one thing that annoys me is how... I feel like he'd be an annoying person to be around because his whole life revolves around content. And there's nothing he won't put...
There's nothing
behind the content. His wife... His friends, he aired out House Phone with that trend.
It's all about content.
It's all about content.
There's no authentic, off the record.
That's why
shit.
the chairs or his podcast are always revolving because everyone always just.
That's interesting. He'll create a little team, and then there's always static, and people get because there's all this backbiting and group chats behind people. It seems like a very toxic.
It is.
I mean, I allegedly,
and it's fun to watch as a consumer for a little bit, but after a while, you just check out. There was a time where. Every day I was watching No Jumper News when they had AD, House Phone, Lush One. I like those guys. So I was watching every day and you just see one leave.
He called out Lush on the podcast, you saw?
And that's something he wouldn't do to someone else. It's just corny shit.
And it's, for sure. But also, this is
for content.
Yeah, man.
He did it for content. He clipped it up. Then he reposted him doing it. So it was it's just not true.
Right. And he's making even money off the wife's pussy. It's not. It's
everything's
money. Everything's content, money. What can we sell?
He just seemed like he'd be annoying.
He's a hustler. But yeah, it would be annoying.
Do you think that we had a cyber attack today? On phones,
bro. All I know is fuck a cyber attack.
But you what I'm talking about.
Listen, listen.
Tell your fans.
Well, it's true. Oh, wow. To the four of you out there, there was the cell phone service went down for an hour today. Well, some people it was 6 hours, 8 hours.
Some people it was between Verizon and AT&T.
It was definitely yes, correct. Verizon and AT&T had an outage.
Did you have any issues?
Yeah, my shit went out for an hour, and I almost killed myself. Dude, not having the internet at work is brutal for me.
Huh. Yeah. I didn't have any issues.
What do you have?
Verizon. I didn't have it. Well, not that I know of. Maybe I did. I was listening to a podcast. You can't really use your phone when you're as
just
an electrician.
Listen, yeah.
As an electrician, not really.
But the podcast, was it downloaded or streaming?
Sometimes, it was. That wasn't downloaded because I was clicking on new ones. So my phone worked.
Right there you go. So you were good because I was listening to podcasts. My shit stopped and I had to go to downloaded ones, which I did have some downloaded. But so that's funny because I just sent you that Facebook post about
yesterday.
Yes, just yesterday. This girl posted, hey, I've been reading a lot of news and seeing a lot of news, or should I start gathering supplies because I heard the illegal immigrants are going to take down the power grid. And it's I just felt what are you talking about? What motivation would they have? They're using the same grid as us. They're here. But she said, so I asked her, I said, what motivation would they have? And she's like, well, Russia or China will do the hacking. And then the immigrants will people will start attacking each other because of food and water and survival. And it's look, that was what I told her. Should you supply yourself in case the power grid goes down? Yes.
Right.
Do I think fucking Juan and you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be running up and onto the cell towers and doing something. I just don't understand the motivation behind it unless it would be a giant cyber
power grid. He said cell
full power grid. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's how today we're right. So the power grid is fickle. It's built on a house of cards. It can get.
That's what I feel about our satellites and
everything, our food supply.
We don't know what's going on in space.
Our food supply, all of it, dude.
Something could have passed by. We don't know how that shit works.
Yeah,
but
everyone should have some food and water. For how long, I don't know. But do I think that it's the legal immigrants that are going to do it? Not necessarily. I don't think it's going to be that specific. But I just feel like
a solar flare or something.
Yeah, but the news it's insane. What I told her too is like turn off the news. Because it's just insane to me how the news is just fucking.
It's just fear mongering.
It's gross, bro.
They just make money off of you not turning the channel, and
they want to elicit a
good
response.
news doesn't keep you locked in as much as,
and all they care about is the attention, the clicks, right? And so you want to evoke an emotion, and the one that gets the most clicks is anger.
I was having a conversation with someone, and they were asking me like, they asked basically, they were like, "What are you a Democrat?" or age old conversation, and I was
I'm gay, actually.
I was just like, I don't really like. I like to choose. I like to take a situation in and then choose. From like have a conversation about it. I don't really lean one way or the other. I guess you could say I'm left leaning, but I also have some conservative views. She's like, "Oh, like what?" And I was just start naming like, I think we should be tight on immigration.
Need to bring back segregation.
Segregation was a good idea, but poorly executed. I don't want to sit next to Chief Keef either.
Nobody wants to sit next to Chief Keef. Just kidding, Chief Keef. I didn't say
that. But like border control. I was saying, like the sexuality in schools.
Sure.
And she was like, "Well, like, what do you mean?" I was like, "I don't think like, why would there be a drag person need to come to school reading books?" And she was like, how often do you think that's happening? And I was like, "You're probably right."
Yeah.
But like, it probably happened twice or once. But then because of the way the media works, you think it's happening at every school every time.
Know, yeah.
So I'm like saying like, "Oh, I don't want that in school." And she's probably like, "That's probably not a real issue."
Yeah.
But I'm saying like even like I'm 8, I would think I'm a girl. I'm gonna get
sure.
You know what I mean? Like that was my overall point. Like shit like that. Like I heard about.
Here's the thing. I hate that we're even talking about this because it's like who the fuck are we? But my thing with it's like if you're, when you're 8, you're 8. You want to be a fucking dinosaur,
Right.
Much less a different gender.
Yeah. My point was like, we shouldn't let kids make decisions. Parents know best. Until they don't, then you can make your own decision. But that's what an adult is.
Right.
But as long as I'm your guidance, as long as I'm your provider, and I've been on this earth longer than you, I'm gonna assume that I can make a better decision for you than you.
Right.
If you're fucking 12, that's not even a hard concept to understand.
And the thing is, you hear from parents that are like, it's in the schools. It's bad. They're teaching this. They're doing this. So it's like. They could be skewed, It's you just got to consider the source.
Yeah, I was listening to a
have
podcast where they're saying that one of his friend's kids came home and was like, "Yeah, I don't have a gender." And the parents like, "Oh, what the fuck are they teaching you?" And it's just like, I get that stance if that a one-off.
And I also,
but I heard it on podcast. So I'm like, is that going on everywhere? Is this like a one? Did he get that from a teacher? He could have got that from another student. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. And the thing is, it's like in the scenario where someone feels that they're born in a bad. Because so let me just say this: there's people who feel like they're born in the wrong body from day one. Okay, they shouldn't, in my opinion, be able to make permanent decisions about that, surgery-wise and shit, and hormone-wise, until they're a little older. I don't know what that age is, right? But not 8. But then there's also kids who are confused, kids who are mad, kids who are upset, and it's like trans is the new goth in a weird way. Not. No,
I know what you're saying though.
Not literally.
It's like misunderstood type shit.
And that's the thing. Not always. Again, this is the problem. It's not one or the other.
Right.
It's like
there's some kids that thought they were goth until they grew up.
Yes, but then there's also people who know they're goth from day one type shit, right? So it's like. The schools were dealing with probably, I'm assuming it starts like this, right? There's a 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds in high school. They feel like they're in the wrong body. They've always felt that way. It's real. It's legitimate. Not that some of them are not real, but let's be honest.
It's a new tomboy.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. And so I'm sure that the schools maybe recognize that their parents, they couldn't come to their parents and talk about it. Some people's parents are too conservative to hear about that. They have no outlet, so then they start getting counseling. And then I think that just snowballs.
Right.
Because it's like the legitimate voices need to be heard. I get that, Mm-hmm. We don't need more trans people killing themselves. I'm aware of this, It's like a real thing. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, we can't just, that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is it's not just so black or white. It's like, there's real concern here with people who are feeling like they were legitimately born in the wrong body, which is like a thing that can happen. You know, it's like, in my belief, it's like, but yeah, I don't know. And I don't know why that is. And I do believe it's like a statistical abnormality. It's not a huge thing. It's not like this huge thing happening, but the news shines this light on it. Or sometimes the bounce back from it just goes too far, you know?
Right.
You see that all the time.
It's just like we thought the bathrooms were going to be the biggest deal in the world.
Bro, not I. But a lot of people
But you know what I mean?
Yes.
The media made it seem like that was like the new issue.
And what kills me about the bathroom thing is they're like, I don't need no grown man in the bathroom with my little girl. And it's like, fair, right? But what about a gay guy or a gay girl?
Right.
They're in there.
Yeah.
It's just like, not everyone's a molester. It's not, they're human beings, right? They have to take a piss. Mm-hmm. You know, I understand, you know, watch your kid. I don't fucking know what to tell you.
I mean, let your kid go to the bathroom alone.
Yeah. It's like if they're young. I mean, I'm just saying it can happen from whoever.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a trans person. That's all. People. And then, and another thing is like, you would hear people that like, you know, people talk about that like it was a huge issue, and you're like, bro, do you know a single trans person? They're like, no. Have you ever even seen one? Right, it's like, nah, but fucking on the news, they're all over the place, and they're telling me if I get the pronoun wrong, they're going to be mad. People say that to me all the time too, like, I'm fine with trans, but like, get mad every time I miss. It's like, when does that happen to you? You know, right. It just hasn't. Right. That shit sounds good, and I get it. At that point, I get it. Right? You can have whatever.
Some people are waiting for that moment, though.
Yeah, right.
So they could tell someone else it happened to them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that they'll have the fight as if it has happened to them because they hear it on the news, and then when I go, well, when? How many times does that happen? They're just like, well, you know, it just does. It's like, sure.
I've seen it on the internet.
Yeah. It's tough, man. The internet's getting scary. The deep fakes are getting scary as fuck. I sent you the Will Smith one.
Yeah,
bro, they're getting free. So listen. So these people who are
did you send me the post where it was him eating and then the fake one above it?
No, they were both AI, bro.
No.
Yes.
The other one he was trolling.
Oh, for real?
But I can understand why you would.
Well, give it 10 years.
Exactly. Well, have you seen a Bobby Adolph one?
Yes.
Adolph one?
Yeah.
That?
Well, they're just still photos, right?
No, she was like, it was like a, you know, those face mask and porno things.
Oh, it was a porn?
Yeah.
I thought it was just scandalous pictures.
No.
I know they were fakes, but.
It was like a porno with her face on it. And like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is fake. But the fact that it was like, I was looking at the comments and some people were like believing. I was like, oh, we're almost there.
Oh, we're there.
We're closer than I thought we were.
We're there. We're there for some people.
Because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I could see how someone could believe this is
especially
real.
Right,
but it's not real.
Yes, but yeah.
But
some people are already. It's too late.
Right.
Like they already are believing it. Like you said in the comments, people are already that.
She said on her Instagram, her team called her and was like, "This isn't you, is it?" So like,
that's what I'm saying.
We're
people who even know what deepfakes are, right? Imagine my mom. She's huge into the leaked porn game.
Right, exactly.
No, but imagine her watching whatever video, right? She don't even really know. If I say deepfake, she's going to not know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, those people I'm terrified for. So imagine when they see President Biden give a speech saying it's martial law on those immigrants. Mm-hmm. Not only did that news story scare you about the power grid going down, now you're mad about the immigrants too.
It's now you're scared on a small scale. You remember when they like put that like
scared and mad.
That Muslim rug behind Obama back in the day, and that they put like a Muslim rug behind Obama and said he hung it up in the White House, and it like went viral. And all you had to do was Google and show that. It showed the original image and the real image, but it got shared 1,000,000 miles per hour because, like you said, it was 30, 40-year-olds that just hopped on Facebook. They ruined it, but it was people's parents hopping on Facebook, just sharing away at something that they could easily Google.
Dude, my mom.
Some people don't even think that's an option. Anytime I see something that's too crazy, it's just a Google search.
Brother, my mom will still like type into the Facebook status, like, I don't know if this is true or not, but if you don't put this on your post in 14, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, as if it'll change her software of Facebook, you know? I'm like, Mom, you'll never have to type in this. And it's like, I've told her more than once. Right. I guess she's just getting old. And it's like that, and scammers are going to take advantage of that times 1,000, right?
Oh, they're already like texting you, sending you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's spooky.
It's spooky, and it's just
every day I see someone else's shit get hacked. And it's starting to be people that I didn't even think like, oh, did they click on something? Like, how is it happening? Like Facebook, like now all of a sudden they got this Cash App thing for sale. And then you see people commenting like, oh, if you get this right, then I'll send you $200. And then I'll look in the comments and it'll be somebody like answering the puzzle.
Yep.
And I'll be like, come on.
Yeah.
And then and then the person that got hacked will reply, message me.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn.
It's crazy.
How you guys not know by now?
It's crazy.
It's like one of those things. I was talking to someone about, like, that, you know, they were talking about kids don't go out and play anymore. When I have a kid, I'm not gonna let them play with their iPad and do all that stuff. And it's like, I hear what you're saying, but that's gonna make your kid fall behind. At the same time, you got to find like a healthy balance.
That's the problem with technology.
You know what I mean?
It's like, to not have any of it, you'll just be severely inconvenienced and disconnected. I mean, you just will.
Yeah.
Do they even do newspapers anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're not eating crabs, what's the fucking point? It's like,
that's how I feel about my mail. Like, my mail lady's like, sometimes she has to like, hey, come get your shit. Because I know like nothing in there is important unless it's something that I don't want.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, I hate it. But yeah, it's like you said, you'll be like inconvenienced. You'll be set back because now it's like a part of life. Like, you're going to school. Like, even like snow days aren't even a thing because now if you don't go to school, if the school's closed, and they got like this online shit for you to do at home.
Right. Yeah.
And then they assume you just have I'm like, what if you don't have what if you can't afford a laptop?
That's not even an option to them.
We'll go to the library.
Or they'll give you one or something. But you're constantly connected, and then, you know, cash is going away, as we know. Slowly but surely, it's just going away.
Well, it's been fake anyway.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it has, because I go to work, I don't see no cash. Right? I go to work all week, numbers change on the screen. And I go to Chick-fil-A, I pay with my phone. Numbers change on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't ever touch no money. It's like you said. It's already fake. It's already this agreement. And it's just never, I mean, money is an agreement. I get that. But it's never been more apparent that it's an agreement. And
it's like a promise. It's like a pinky promise.
Yeah, it's an IOU. You're owed this, and now you get to use it. It's a social credit score, basically. And so the thing is, though, with they're just to be able to track every single transaction you ever do. It's just fucking terrifying, bro. Even for people not, you know, trying to do side work or do this and that. It's just like the fact that they
even the side work, that's changed because it's not even cash on the hand. It's like, oh, you got Venmo, oh, you got Zelle, so even the side work is coming in cyberly, and like even that kind of cash.
Yeah, we gotta go back to bartering.
Yeah.
Electric work for weed. What's up? No, we got to go back to bartering, dude. I don't know what's going on. Everything's going to shit.
So I asked you earlier about a guy,
Brian Johnson.
He's a tech CEO guy that
quit. I don't know who it is when you say.
He quit his job. He quit his job. He sold his company. Let's say that he didn't quit his job. He sold his company. In order, and he's like one of those guys that wants to
longevity.
He wants to stop aging.
Longevity, yes. Okay, now I know. So tell me, is this the guy taking his kid's blood and putting it in him?
No.
Okay. Okay, so real quick, this longevity lane is weird.
It is weird.
These are the people anti-aging, trying to delay, pause, put off the aging process, and they are doing a lot and spending a lot.
This guy's doing it through AI.
Interesting.
Zero thought theory is what he's calling it.
That sounds horrific.
It really is.
Zero thought?
Okay, but listen.
No, thank you.
Exactly.
It's the only thing I like to do.
So he basically is like, if I leave it up to AI and I can make it so my body is 29 and whatever levels that my heart has to be at 29 or whatever levels that my diaphragm has to be at 29, he's like, I'm going to do whatever this thing is telling me. And it's going to teach me I'm going to monitor my life, put it in the computer, and it's going to tell me the best way to live. And so he says he's got an 18-year-old libido.
I was going to say, they can like measure it somehow. Like, yes.
He says he's got an 18-year-old libido dick, and he was telling me, he was breaking down on this podcast about how he did it and the steps he was doing. Like, he had shock therapy on his penis. He like put Botox in it.
He's doing all this thing. Dick?
And then he has like a diaphragm. He's got like a 20-something-year-old's diaphragm. And somebody like chimed in, was like, "Damn, men are men." He's like, he's like this super smart guy. He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, multi-millionaire, trying to be ageless, and the first thing you forget fits in your dick and your ass.
100%.
But yeah, but he's like, he's like. He was talking about he was saying like your mind. He was suicidal. So
shout out to Suicide Gang. Suicide Squad would make more sense there.
Tech millionaire.
Back that up. Take it out. Do Suicide Squad.
Tech millionaire who was suicidal. So and his but he wanted to help. He said he like he was somewhere overseas, wanted to find got this awakening. He wants to help humanity by living forever type shit.
He got rich.
He got rich and got bored.
Yeah, exactly.
So he is basically like, your mind is false. What your mind is telling you to do and telling you what you need is false.
Huh?
AI is the future, and a zero thought theory is basically something that came to without any evidence of ever happening. There was nothing to build upon, like the tire or the airplane. Like they call these zero thought theories because they came from, there's no nothing,
No blueprint.
Even the cell phone, wire, all that shit there's no blueprint. He's saying, as humans, we were the zero thought theory, but if we can get AI to be that, it will happen at a quicker span.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But he was saying so he's putting all this info into AI. He's like, all right, my body works best if I get 8.5 hours of sleep. So I'm gonna go to sleep at this time every fucking day. He's like, my body works best if I don't eat after 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. Then I'm gonna stop eating after 11 a.m. He's like, I'm only putting this in my. He's like, He's turned his brain off and let the computer think for him. Look, but listen, he's like, I'm only any carb that I eat, anything that I put in my body is for fuel. There is no donuts, there's no beer. Everything that I put, every calorie that I put in is to make me more efficient. Every time I run, every cardio I do, I don't listen to anything that I am computer based. And that's how he lives his life.
Hey, I mean, here's the thing. It
sounds miserable.
Well, you're taking it way too far. Him.
But he's saying that the only reason we think like that is because our brains are telling us. The only reason we need a vice, the only reason we need a beer, the only reason we need these things is because our brain is telling us that's what we need, and our brain is lying to us. It's false.
Sure, I get that. And here's the thing. It's like, I'm reading this book, The Power of Now. It's a very good book. But it talks about how your mind is kind of false. You're not your mind, right?
That's what he came to that conclusion because
you're not.
He was suicidal.
You're not your thoughts.
He was suicidal, and he basically was like, after a while, I just put that thought in my mind, and I'm like, that's not what I want. He said he gave it like a name. Like whenever he would go to a dark place, he gave those thoughts like a name.
Yeah, he identified them. And you know what happens when you identify them? So this is in this book. It's really interesting you're talking about this because he's not wrong about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when you're able to identify something that's going on in your mind, you are separating yourself from it a little bit. So then it doesn't really take over you. You know, if it's like a negative thought pattern or a bad feeling, it's like if you're looking at it, you're not the mind anymore. You're the observer of the mind, you know? And that is like your consciousness, right? Your being, your essence. You're like, so I do agree that like our minds get caught into like the egoic mind, they say, is like it's built up of the past, right? All of our memories and shit, and then thoughts about the future. Mm-hmm. But the past can just be like, basically is like the book's about being in the present. But yes, I do agree that we are not our minds.
No.
But to outsource it fully to AI seems retarded.
And everything like
it just does.
He's just like, and they were asking him about like, well, they're basically like
did he have to electrocute his dick?
That's just it's just like some things that he was going through to figure out how to get to that 18-year-old libido, that place. That is that perfect being. Like he proactively takes a bunch of medicine.
Yeah, I bet.
He's like, why wait until it's happened? Like I'm gonna take stat. I'm gonna take all these things now. I was like, he's just
you gotta have money to do any of that shit.
Yes, because like I can't fall asleep I can't physically get 8 hours.
No, and also even the medication he's on, it's like your insurance ain't gonna give it to you. They're gonna be like, no, you're young and healthy.
Right.
You can't get it.
Well, that's what they're talking about. Like, how do you do that? He's like, well, you have money.
Simple as that. My buddy's.
But he was saying that if it sounds jarring now, but eventually it sounds jarring like everything else sounds jarring until everyone starts doing it.
No, I get that. I understand that. And he may not be wrong. I'm just saying, like, yes, and again, this could be the mind, right? Mm-hmm. The mind, the egoic mind trying to save itself. You know, trying to go, no, you need me. Hey, no, you need me. There's this like self-preservation thing about the, egoic mind.
I just feel like and and this is what I've been struggling with all week because I'm like, what's the point of living longer if you're just gonna live like that? And I was like, that's my mind telling me that I'm gonna have FOMO basically, because it's not about the vices and stuff. Like they're basically the people on the podcast were like the problem with that is gonna be the, hey man, let's go get a beer, and like the social interactions and the things that happen, the camaraderie that happens from like
being out lonely for sure,
being out late and doing this thing. Because they're like, can you find a wife can you find anyone that doesn't?
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like live that life you live. I was like, the money helps, but like a normal person trying to do that, it's going to be very difficult.
No, the normal person can't do it. But that's the thing. The normal people can't do the shit everyone's talking about.
Right.
Like all the big things. It's like you just can't. My buddy's dad died of colon cancer, and he's like around my age, and he's like, I go get checked every few years, I get a colonoscopy. So I tried to get one, and my doctor was just like, you're going to have to pay for it out of pocket, because you're no symptoms. So it's like, okay, so I should lie about a symptom.
Right.
You're incentivizing fraud. Rather than just like, it's just so frustrating. That just happened this week.
That's how therapy for my like insurance has to kick in. I can't just be like, I need to go talk to someone. I need to say I'm having a drinking issue.
That's crazy.
Or like,
isn't that wild?
I'm suicidal. It's not like, hey, can I just talk to someone
before I'm suicidal?
Right. So they could put it in their little thing.
They need to code it. Right. That's what I'm saying. When it gets into this algorithmic shit, it's not as nuanced as it should be. But therapy, I got to break out with my therapist.
Yeah, you said it fell for your charm. I don't want to get the pronouns wrong. They might freak out.
Oh, I said it on this.
No, we talk.
Oh, okay, yeah. My therapist. He's just. I love you. I love you, Luke. If you're listening, I'm sure you are. He just fell for my. He hypes me up every month. So basically, it's like, I used to go once a week to him, and now I go once a month. It's what with me?
Yeah. I always talk about that party where I was sitting.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, I fall for my shit. Right. That's the thing about being like as incredibly charming as I am. Right. Charming and humble as I am. It's like I fall for my own shit, and I. Like, and because I wait for a month to see him, I therapize my own shit. So by the time I talk to him, I'm like, well, I was going through this, and then I figured out there was probably this, and then I did this, and he's like, like, I'm doing the work. He's like, I just ramble for 30 minutes.
So maybe you need to take a break from seeing him.
That's what I said. I need to break up with him.
Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's just in general.
Well, yeah.
Maybe maybe you got the oil change and you'll be back in a little bit for the next one.
So the way I look at it is, I did get the oil change. Now I'm going to go try to get my tires rotated.
Okay. You
know what I'm saying? From a tire specialist. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
That's exactly what I want to do. Is like go to someone's specialist for that IFS bullshit I was talking about, the parts work. Basically, I want to go get specialized therapy for someone who specializes in something. IFS, like the internal family system. I don't know if you heard me talk about it with that life coach.
No.
Yeah, but it's a super, super gay therapy thing about like a child inside of you, like a little kid still being in you from being young. And you can like talk to that child and address it, and supposedly it helps or something.
Whoa.
Yeah, it sounds gay, but like I had an experience that say it.
I just feel like white people are so safe. They gotta just find shit.
Right, not about me.
Black people be trying to survive and shit, and white people be like, I guess I start hugging trees now. Like life is getting so safe.
Yeah, I told somebody
you need to go back and start robbing drug dealers again. This shit is getting. This podcast is so much better when you're talking about shit like that.
Listen,
this nigga's healing though. We need
a robbery in this economy. A robbery could happen any day, bro.
And the drug dealers are getting soft, bro.
Yeah, they're just TikTok drug dealers.
You just run up, take this shit, and they be like, "Oh man, I just don't trust them anymore." It's like I've heard that like 4 times, yo. I gotta say it. Fuck it. If you're a drug dealer in the suburbs, you're just lazy. Like there's no like.
Why?
Because there's not like, everyone around me in my community is doing it, and my back was against the wall. You just didn't want to get out of bed. Like you just didn't want to go find where like you did. Like it's not like there's not limitless opportunities for you to get money the legit way. It's not like you were strapped down by your community and there's only so many jobs, and then the drug dealer the working man was poor, and the guy with the
it's not necessarily a necessity. No.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about the guy that sells weed. I'm talking about the kingpin that doesn't have a job and the kingpin that's
it's
doing
just a different lane of work.
You're lazy.
That's like saying a computer worker is lazy.
No, it's not.
What if they worked an hour a day as a computer worker?
Huh?
What if they work an hour a day as a computer worker? They're lazy too?
No.
So why the drug
Because
dealer?
they applied themselves and got themselves a job, and it sucks.
So just because it's legal?
Because they're just not applying themselves.
They are at the drug dealing.
But
if they're a kingpin, they're doing great at it.
What I'm saying is like you're not gonna the risk and reward are.
Well, they must want to take it. They made that choice. You know what I'm saying? So that's to me that's what it is. To me, they've just went. I know what the risk is. I'd rather do this. Maybe that does come from a place of laziness.
It just does.
But here's the thing. I think everyone's lazy.
I agree.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just hate the whole I'm hustling, back to get wall. That is
that
annoying. It's like,
from it, yes.
It's just like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You chose that path because it was the computer guy. He might work an hour a day, but for him to get that job to get to that point where he works an hour a day, he probably busted his ass for him to do that answer.
Look, dude, that guy probably sold dime bags at first. And then worked his way up to the bricks.
Yeah, but it's, again...
Nah, he started with the loan from his dad.
I'm just saying, like, it's about how you apply yourself. It's like now that computer guy, even though he's lazy, he set up his life to where he has his skill where he's not going to get his door kicked in at any moment. It's like now you're 35 and you can't do it forever. You're going to get caught. You're going to go to jail.
You're going to get caught.
And it's just like, you didn't have to do it this way.
No, of course not. But that's on them, right? But what gets me though is
but those guys are also the ones that post about the hard work and dedication for me to floss and all this shit. And it's like, no,
yeah,
you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning,
right?
You do, you know what I mean? It's again, I might be hating a little bit. I just don't like
you had a long day at work today. You were like, man, you seen somebody flexing on Instagram. You got mad. You were sweating at work. You got on Instagram. What happened?
No, I swear to God, because I do all the shit. I don't have the limitless funds as they do.
Sure.
But I'm living a good life. I don't have anything I don't envy them. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day,
keep doing your things out there.
Do whatever you want. Just stop.
Shut the fuck up about it.
I just think the path you took.
Story, and you're talking about a specific type.
Yes.
If you're not talking every drug dealer, you're just not. And
I would never. No. I like my life.
I would never.
I would never. I like my life. I'm just talking to the ones that act like their back was against the wall and this is the only option they have and the biggest hustlers. And I was like, no. You picked this life because it was the easiest and you're like, hey, I'll just rock with this because I don't really have any life skills.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like going out and developing any.
Yeah. Or maybe their sensibilities just work well in that field.
You're giving them a lot of credit.
Yeah, that was just a very nice way.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, again, there's people that I'm a dumbass electrician. If I would have applied myself, maybe I could have been a lawyer or something really cool. Probably not.
Too annoying.
Judge
would be like, out.
Yeah.
Bro, you watch some compilations ever?
I would just start mocking him.
Yeah, dude.
Order in the court.
Why'd you write that down?
Yeah.
Nah, you would never be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, drug dealers are lazy, I guess.
Yeah. Not everyone. There's a certain...
The new TikTok
type.
Generation.
Yes.
And listen, they're the ones that are just literally selling drugs on TikTok and Snapchat and shit. And it's like, they're just so wide open with it that I don't know if people know this. This is like a news flash, right? Cops are people. So when all the people around you know that you sell drugs, guess what?
It's not if, it's when.
It's the thing. It's all right. It's when, and it's years ago. They know. They've been known. It's there's not, it's not when you're going to get popped, though. It's not if. When. Yes, when you're going to get caught. But they already know. Yes. It's like if you're flossing and flexing and everyone around you knows, the cops know. I mean, that's just how I believe that cops are people. But they go to bars. They hear people.
Also, though, at the same time, it's like they might know, but they don't have the resources to get. They might not care enough.
Right. I'm not. That's a different argument. They might not care at all. I'm not. Yeah. That's definitely the case. A lot of the times,
There's what's the point?
But they definitely had enough resources to bring about 14 motherfuckers here at 5:30 in the morning on St. Patrick's Day. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So for, a half ounce of mushrooms.
That's weird.
It is weird. But also, and then someone said that I was growing mushrooms in here, and the police came in here, and...
Could you see on the papers who told?
No, it said confidential informant.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. I woke up.
I know exactly who it is.
It's probably your bitch ass. I woke up, especially after Cancun.
Yeah, man. I'll give me a reason.
Give you a reason to sing.
Yeah, I was sitting with someone. I was talking about how quick, not that situation, but I was like, yeah, don't do no shit around me or have me in the car. I ain't going to jail for you.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, you a rat, yo? I was like, I'm a civilian, bro.
No, you'd be a rat if you didn't say it and then snitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
What makes you not a rat is you going, look, no, I'm just a regular person.
Right.
And I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. I just don't.
Rat.
I've been in situations. I've been in situations.
Najee the bull.
I've just been in. Let me pick that. Let me give you the option. Because I've been in situations where I've been with someone and they're riding dirty or something.
Kill someone.
They just had some shit on them that I didn't know.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, can you at least tell me so I can like make a decision if I want to
partake?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, don't just. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away too much shit. It's just like,
no, for sure. I agree.
Let me know.
No, I agree.
So I can go down this path with you.
Right, and make the choice to do that.
Right.
Don't make that choice for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they came here, dude. A lot of them. And they came in and they said, we have a search warrant. And then they searched my shit, took me to jail.
Did all that shit get dropped?
Yeah, well, what was weird is
are you allowed to be talking about this on the podcast?
It's turning out okay. They ain't back yet. No, but even this, like, they came in here. I had the job I have now. I had a good job. I was about to go to work that morning while I was sleeping. But so I woke up and no bullshit. I already have like PTSD a little bit. I'm like a little jumpy from other traumatic things that have happened to me that were jarring. Mm-hmm. And waking up from a dead sleep, to sirens and lights outside the house it was just a lot. It was like, it scarred me. I was probably having a dream about Jennifer Aniston licking my asshole or something, and then I wake up to like literally this, bro.
You think like, hey, what the fuck are you guys here
for?
Bro,
listen, I wake up and I open my eyes and it's like, it's at the exact same time my ears and eyes are registering. So our ears, it's like, Justin Anderson, we have your house arrest.
I think I was a dream,
bro. And then I'm like thinking that at first, and I see the red and blue lights and shit, all in the reflections of them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My cousin lived here at the time. She was renting the basement, so I'm like getting up and like realizing what's going on. And I'm living upstairs, at the top of the stairs. It's like a Cape Cod, so she's already up on the main floor by the time I walk out of my bedroom, and she's like, Justin, I have to go out there. They're telling us to come out. I have to go. And I'm like, go. Yeah. And she goes out there and they didn't come in, which I don't know why. Maybe because of my history of like psych wards and shit. I'm not sure. Genuinely, I don't know why they didn't come in.
Right.
But they didn't come in and they said, come out. We have the house surrounded. Come out with your hands up, whatever. So I went and got my slippers on. It was cold out. And I walked out there. And once I walked out, the SRT team, the surgical response team or something, they were all lined up on the garage with their guns and shit, bro. It was crazy. It was like a movie. Right. I walk out. My cousin's already out there. They have the big trucks, like the big old armored trucks and shit with the doors open. It was just a lot, bro.
Right.
And my neighbors are out and shit because, again, it's loud as a motherfucker. It's 5:30 in the morning, maybe 5:17 in the morning, something like that.
How's your relationship with them now?
We don't talk much. Well, the one guy buys weed, psych. No, but yeah, it was like... When I came out, they were lined up on the garage with their guns out. So then they all went in, like a fucking SEAL Team 6 and cleared the house, So once it was cleared, then the regular cops went in. They were all masked up too, though. It was during COVID times.
Right.
They were not keeping 6 feet. I can tell you one thing: they were not keeping 6 feet from me. But they were doing their jobs, and they came in and they said that I flushed drugs down the toilet. So then they smashed my toilet with a sledgehammer. Yeah. So that was fun. They took me to jail. They let my cousin go. They asked either one of us, they gave us our rights and said, well, look, they were both sitting on the couch in handcuffs, right? Because they cleared the house. They searched it. No, they cleared it for people. And then they brought us in and put us on the couch because it was cold out there. Uh-huh. And then they were searching the shit with us on the couch with the handcuffs. They read us our rights and told us about the search warrant. And then he said, with these rights in mind, would you like to speak to me? Talking to me. And I'm like, no. Right. And then they asked her and I'm just like, don't. Please don't. Because it's like, there's nothing for her to say.
Right.
But either way, the answer is always no, unless you have a representative there,
Yep.
So she said no, thank God. Shout out to you. Shout out Jess. And but she said no because she was on probation. She didn't want to get in trouble, but she didn't know anything or have anything to do with anything. Not that there was anything going on.
Right, exactly.
So that's the thing. So they come in and they take me to jail so they're up in my room searching, and then I just hear like, yeah, you can take him. So I'm like, okay. So then they take me, and I don't know what they found at the time. They just took me to jail. So
you knew, like,
I knew, and I'm not doing nothing crazy, but I was just like, what the fuck is going on, And basically, they're sitting in the holding cell, and I guess they get done searching, and the cop comes up, and he's like, here's your charges. And he hands them to me. He's masked up. So he hands them to me through the door. I look at him. It's like manufacturing illegal substances. I forget how they worded it, but manufacturing, right? And then possession, because they found a half ounce of mushrooms in here. And they found an Adderall. So I got possession of one Adderall and possession of $100 worth of mushrooms, okay? And then the Facebook article said that I had 21 grams of cocaine because they weighed a container, an empty container that had cocaine in it. So then they weighed it, and they said you had 21 grams of cocaine. So the article that everyone so kindly shared on Facebook, I know, don't give us dog yet.
It's up for them.
Yeah.
Still got your name on the list.
Yeah, fuck y'all. They never went back and corrected that, obviously, right? They just said 21 grams. So they did it. They sent it to the lab. It was 0.01 that got thrown out right away. The cocaine thing got thrown out, and then the drug things. So I went. So he hands me the stuff. I read it, and I said,
crazy. Cause now I could just go to DC and get some mushrooms.
Bro,
look at all the tax and resources.
I'm getting there. So he hands me the stuff. I read it, and I'm like, I'm not even charged with intent to distribute. And he goes, yeah, I know. We knew we didn't think you were selling it. We just thought you were growing it. And I'm like, so hypothetically speaking, if I'm growing mushrooms and eating them, leave me alone. Like, I had like no victim, no crime.
Yeah.
First of all, I wasn't. But second of all, what are y'all doing here, bro? They said that the CI told them I was making DMT, I was growing mushrooms, I was doing all these things. I had this. They thought I had a whole operation, so I'm sure they were like bummed as well, you know, because they just had bad info. And basically, they had bad. So 3 reasons they were allowed to come in here. The search warrant had three dots. 1, the CI. That was probably their biggest piece in the puzzle. B, I'm
over here saying like I would rap, but then I'm thinking like that CI pisses me off.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's just doing it just for like money or no reason, you know what I mean?
Especially when I'm not moving like that. Right. What are you talking about?
Out here just on a whim throwing
trying to get out of trouble for something.
Toilet smashed.
Yeah, right. Smash my toilet with a sledgehammer. Crazy. Because let's say I did flush something, that's not going to get it back. You're just mad.
Yes.
They act like they needed to search like the neck part of it. It's like, bro, you're just mad because you think I did something. But
because you wasted money and it looks bad.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. Right. So that's another thing too, because then it's like, well, he did have something. He just flushed it.
What's the 3 dots?
The 3 dots were the confidential informant, and then the second dot was they were watching my house. So someone left my house,
got pulled over.
Right. Had weed on them and Suboxone. Okay. I didn't even know they did Suboxone. You know what I'm saying? Right. The person who left, I know. They said their names and stuff, and I know it's like, but I know that they didn't get either one of those things from me. Right. You know what I'm saying? I knew the guy smoked weed. I didn't know he did Suboxone.
Could have got it from the dispenser.
Yeah, but exactly. Right? So either way, whatever the fuck it was, I wasn't selling weed, so I know he didn't get it from me. You know, right. I wasn't selling Suboxone or either. So they pulled him over. He had drugs on him. Left my house. This confidential informant told, and then they were going through my trash and found an empty baggie with cocaine residue on it, like a sandwich baggie.
Oh, so the 2...
Because I was like using cocaine here and there at the bar or whatever. I wasn't like...
2... So they had the first 2 dots. What gave them the 3rd dot to go through your trash? Or it's a trash thing?
I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming confidential informants first.
Right. And then the pullover, they're watching your house to pull someone over.
And then the trash.
Which sucks for the guy that got pulled over.
Yeah, for sure. That happened to me.
Yep.
With one of our
same
other
dots.
friends.
They're working on their dots.
Yeah. Same shit.
Probably same CI.
Probably. Actually, yeah, probably. But there's probably a bunch of them motherfuckers around. Hey, I know you're watching. Shout out to the CI. The CI who snitched on me is probably watching this because they're in Pasadena.
Right. Everyone knows who it is.
Hi. Smile. Yeah, so that sucked, dude. Especially as like a white man. I said, guys, same team.
Who was I with the other day? I was with someone the other day. We were riding by. It was a white homeless man. I just looked at it. They're like, what's your deal? I was like, wasted perfectly white skin.
Unbelievable. All that privilege is
All
wasted.
that privilege, and you're just out here homeless. Go get a tech job.
It's like, dude, when I see a homeless person who's an alcoholic, I'm always like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, what a waste.
Smoke crack.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you're going to lose, you threw your whole life away for Smirnoff vodka pints?
That's how I feel about when.
Ew.
That's how I feel about
Do a real drug.
the little sober chip when they're not drinking.
What about it?
I'm like 11 months sober. I was like, okay.
Oh,
You didn't drink
it's from
4 times?
drinking?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, you didn't go out 4 times in a
Yeah,
month.
yeah. Well, I remember going to like
Kidding.
the Narcotics Anonymous, and there'd be like someone who's like, I have 10 years sober, and they're like, yeah, when did you get sober? They're like 13. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, you're just here to hang out.
a lot of times, yes, is of the social sobriety, right? Sober people to hang out with. Good point. But they want to be, a lot of times it was like I had a really bad problem, and it's like, you know what? Maybe you did realize it was bad, and
maybe your class should be next door.
Your class?
Yeah, you're 13-year-old, 10 years sober. You're not. This is like.
That's what I'm saying.
These are like the veterans. We had shit going on.
Yeah, this guy next to this it's like, I just got done sucking dicks for 14 days. This kid's like, my grades were slipping. Like, I couldn't put the square in the round hole anymore. Like, what fucking problems did you have, But honestly, maybe they caught that toxic thinking early, truly, like, all jokes aside.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it's like a specific person I'm thinking.
When you hear it, you're like,
that's what I mean.
It makes you go?
Things that make you go, yeah.
On, bro.
But NA was good for me, dude. I learned a lot. I just used a quote the other day, and someone's like, isn't that from Alcoholics Anonymous? And I'm like, yeah, actually, a lot of those fucking gay-ass quotes are stuck in my head.
I'm reading a motivational book, and I'm like, this is gay. But it has gems in it to where I have to keep reading. But
That's all of spiritual enlightenment and personal growth. It really is, because it's like you can't get someone to just give it to you like it's always got to be a little gay.
This one's cool because it tells stories of successful people and things that they did, and it's like it's not like it might be someone from back in the day, like someone that helped like Albert Einstein, or it might be someone that like helped, like their kid was disabled and they helped do like build something for them. Like it's just like mind state and like don't like just like lock in on something type shit. So it's like telling stories about successful people, but like
sounds good.
Every once in a while I'm like,
yeah,
I like get to a chapter and it's like,
it makes you
and it says faith, and then I'm like reading the words. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. Don't stop. Yeah, believe everything. Believe in yourself. Right.
Yeah. That's the thing about the self-help books, bro. That's weird. It's like, some of the best self-help books I've read didn't give me any new information. Does that make sense? They're just like telling you things that are intuitively true, but sometimes
this one grabbed me because it's like it grabbed me because the way they're explaining it was like it was basically like this. They sold it on like everybody knows the idea, but something you read in this book will make it click.
Right.
And I'm like, now I'm like reading and I'm highlighting shit. I'm waiting to find that thing that makes it click.
When you highlight, and I like that. Yeah. Highlighting also just makes it stick in your mind a little bit more, even if you never look at it again.
Yeah.
Taking the time to do that. Mm-hmm. That Power of Now book's so good. It's just like full of little gems, and the whole book. It's an entire book, right? And I can give you the book in 2 words.
Right.
Be present.
Yeah.
But having said that, it's a phenomenal book because of the way he's able to, and all the stuff he's saying is like, you're like, oh yeah. That makes total sense.
Can I tell you a story on this book of this guy? His son was born deaf and mute, right? Well, the doctor told him he would be deaf and mute.
Put him down.
And he was just like, power of thought made me go, no, I refuse to take that answer for yes. So he basically like coached his son to learn how to talk and like hear.
And hear?
I guess there was like a small chance. Crazy. There was like a small chance that he would hear, and he just like did everything.
This is the sound of me hitting mommy.
He just like did everything to make it work, and I'm just like, that's dope. But like, what if he was really gonna be deaf and mute, and you're just like, he was like just like not accepting that his son was this,
right?
So it's like
because it worked, it worked.
Right.
If it didn't, bro, that poor kid. where you're just trying to teach a deaf kid to listen. That
And you won't take
so
no
great.
for answer.
Yeah. Oh, you can't hear.
Yeah.
Oh, and like keep trying to trick him.
Yeah.
Like,
And like, cause it worked, it's a beautiful story. Cause the
Yeah.
son, like, cause the mom was kind of gave up. Was like, okay, this is his life now. He's gonna be deaf and mute, and this blah blah. And then the dad was like, no, we're not gonna treat him any different. Like, and there's a point where the son wanted to get a paper out, and his mom was like, you can't hear. Like, no. He's like, no, I can do this. You know.
you get hit by a truck.
And then he like snuck out one night, did the paper out thing, and the mom was
what
like,
are you talking about?
the mom. Now I'm starting to tell the story.
This sounds
completely made up, right?
Yeah, right. That sounds crazy.
But eventually,
Helen Keller's completely made up. Didn't exist.
Shut up.
I just made that up.
But
I have my doubts.
This story, he basically he snuck out, got this job, and the mom.
Yo, this blind kid's like, I snuck out. How can I
he's
work
deaf
for
and
you?
mute. He could see.
Oh,
He was deaf and mute. Like, he had, like, a problem with his ears.
Okay. That seems more easy to teach
problem with
than
his ears.
blindness. I'm thinking like he corrected all the
And
things.
then talking.
Right.
But eventually this.
You know he sounded crazy.
It did. No, he couldn't see and he delivered papers. Wow. No, eventually he snuck out.
Just papers in the neighbor's yard. What the fuck?
Comes back home. Mom, I did. It's funny.
They're just scattered throughout.
Yeah. He's just around the yard.
Yeah, exactly. You can just see like a radius of where he's
But
from.
he like eventually
Circumference.
the kid got out of that and got this job and did it, and his mom was super proud, and the dad was like, I told you, like, type shit. Now the son like grew up and started something for kids that are deaf and mute and teaching them how to adjust.
That
to
aren't
life.
really deaf and mute. Kids that are kind of deaf.
People
and
that
mute.
have a small percentage.
It's the kind of deaf and mute
Yes,
institute.
the people that have a small percentage.
Gotcha,
of-
they have
he
a
teaches-
chance.
Yes. But like, yeah, I'm reading this book on that. But I was like, that chapter was kind of like, had me like 50-50. I'm like, this guy's kind of arrogant, but it worked out. So it's a great story.
It was delivered to you as a great story.
Uh-huh.
Well, then good for you for even having the thought of going like, is this, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when things are delivered to me a certain way, I take them for face value, you know? So it's good that you're even like,
Yeah.
because it's like presentation's everything. Because you could present that, like you just said, to be like horrific,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Like, you're not deaf.
Yeah, the dad
You're
with
not deaf.
6 hours a day he had him train, even not hitting.
Right.
6 hours a day though he had him working at it, right? And he never learned it,
Right, exactly.
and he wouldn't accept that.
Uh-huh.
At some point, it's like, are you just not accepting your son?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was like, all right, it worked.
Or do you just
Congrats.
want the best for him? Yeah,
He wanted the best
Right.
for him, and he wouldn't take. He was just like, the doctor was just like, yeah, he'll probably be this, and he's like, no.
he's like, no handicaps in this family.
Yeah, it. Like, again, they're presenting it to you as like the power of thinking, like definite thinking. Like, this is my goal.
Oh, okay. As soon as you say definite thinking, bro, that's horrific. That sounds
That's-
problematic.
that was the
Definite
chapter.
thinking sounds
Definite
like
chapter.
zero thought.
Exactly.
It genuinely does, because if you're definite, then you can't be swayed. You can't learn. You can't change. It's like definite thinking is dangerous. So that's a good thought.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, bro.
It was definite thinking. Like, it was basically like, if you have your goal and you say, this is my goal, I'm going to get to this goal by any means, then that means by any means.
By any means is crazy already.
I know. Again, we're reading these books for these
Yeah,
little
yeah,
gems,
yeah.
and you're like, you're highlighting. All right, I get it. Like, have a goal, basically set it,
Yeah.
and don't defer from it.
Yeah,
you
tunnel
know what I mean?
vision
It's
the
gonna be
goal.
hard. It's gonna be naysayers.
Yes.
There's gonna be
It's gonna
problems on
suck.
the road. It's gonna get rocky, but keep going. Again, stuff we already know.
Yeah.
But then he tells his story, and you're like, all right, definite thinking about your son. That worked out this time.
Yeah.
But you're selling this book to the world.
Yeah. My son thought he was trans.
You're gonna,
Until I convinced him he wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
That's crazy sounding.
Because some people aren't self-aware enough or critical thinking. They don't
Yeah.
have the critical thinking to go, okay, well, this applied for this situation. Like,
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe not apply that to the girl that you have a crush on,
Right.
because then you'll go to jail.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
right.
mean?
Exactly. And then, right, the definite thinking is like, are you hot or ugly with the girl?
Right.
Because the difference between you being persistent and catching a charge is like how good you look.
Does she like you back?
Yeah.
And if you're like, oh, she doesn't like me back now, but this will be my wife, that's a little creepy.
if you're ugly.
Or if you're not.
Of course, if you're not. I'm just saying though.
I know what you mean.
Sometimes that's a romance. That's a rom-com.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's a rom-com.
True.
Wouldn't take no for an answer. Kept showing up with the. It's like, oh, and that was.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like if that motherfucker looks like a goblin, you're catching a charge. There ain't nothing cute or sweet
if you're
about it.
incel reading this book and you, again,
Exactly.
the girl doesn't even know who you are.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
well,
you walk by her one day and you tell her, you're going to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She might get a little scared, especially if she's married.
Right. You're like, and then you tell her by any means necessary. You tell her by any means necessary and see how quick you get that charge.
Yeah, I'm going to kill your husband.
By any means, yeah, she's already married.
Yeah.
Definite thinking sounds dangerous.
Yeah. But to the extreme. Again, this book is telling you to the extreme on your thoughts. And this is how, like, it's about the wealth of your brain plus your money in your pockets and stuff like that.
Well, pretty privilege is a thing.
100%.
So, like, some people don't want to admit that. Most people will. The truth is, like, even in little interactions, right? As shallow as this sounds, I don't even know if this is 100% true, but in my head, you're already happy about it.
Because you're about to say something so shallow.
The smirk on your face, bro, when you saw I was about to say something I was a little uncomfortable to say. This is not like a conscious choice, genuinely. I don't think, but I've been thinking about pretty privilege because there's been studies where, like, you get less jail time being pretty, You get less all kind of shit, or more money, literally there's statistics, but look them up. I sure didn't. If a nasty goblin gargoyle looking bitch asks me for directions, I'm gonna be that way.
Right.
If a bombshell badass bitch is like, "Can I get directions?" I'm gonna say, "I'm gonna take you. Let's go. Yeah. I'll bring you there. I'll say it's 45 minutes away. I'll stop my day. I just, and not literally, right? But I'll give you more. I just will.
Right. That's just how it is.
I know, but that's so fucked up, bro. Because they didn't get to
Listening
pick to
to
be
your
ugly.
mind.
Which part?
Zero thought theory. You would just help somebody if you would just turn your brain off.
Right.
The same
and
way.
saw them as their being, not their mind.
Being.
Just
Yes,
that's the thing, man. That's what I'm saying. It is definitely a shallow thought. And now that I'm consciously aware of it, I could hopefully change that, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, unless they smell bad.
It's primal.
I don't know
because
how much
what you're attracted to changes your perception on things.
Yeah, but what you're attracted to is half the time in the fucking zeitgeist fed to us from the Kardashians. So it's like it's a question. No, it's both. I hear what you're saying because attraction is primal, but at the same time, what we find attractive is a lot of pop culture and society
and, like
and what we're told.
Memes, not internet memes, but memes in the sense of
the mimetic movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've heard that?
Yeah. I read a book called I read a book called
Virus of the Mind. Oh, what's the meme?
What's the meme? Before I even knew what the meme was, I was calling it "What's the meme?"
Really?
Yes, it was that far back. I was reading. I read the
like
book.
My mother.
I read the book like, "What's the meme?" Like I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Why would you buy that book? You just thought it was about figuring yourself out. I don't know a lot about Mimi.
I read the back, and it was like, why is the grass green? Why is the grass? I was like in that stage of life. Why do we, we all decided that this was brown.
That's
and
when you were
for the
really
rest of our life, everyone is gonna
agree.
Agree that that's brown.
That was that time of your life you were figuring things out.
Yes.
And you had the sexuality thing.
No, shut up. But yeah, it was like one of that stage, and I was like, "What the meme?" And I was just like, Then once I figured out, once I heard meme out loud, I just started dying laughing. I was like, "Oh, I read this book called it meme for the whole thing."
Dude, memes are a big deal. People don't realize how big of a deal memes are, really. But
yeah, memes are a big deal.
They
like the actual sense of the word.
Yeah,
the real word, like just life. Life is that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how we operate and do things is because societal. It just passed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even your name. Like someone decided you're Justin.
Yeah. Well, in that
everyone agreed that you're Justin.
Well, right. That's the ego, right? Is Justin. The ego, is my identity. It identifies as Justin. It's like, but I'm not that. I'm whatever the observer is, right? Justin's the mind.
Right.
Justin's what I've been told and stored up in this brain. What's observing that is like something deeper.
Is that why Muhammad Ali changed his name?
Yeah,
he was Cassius Clay.
Let's call him.
But it
is Black History Month.
True. That's not why.
I think that was religion, right? He was Muslim or something.
Yeah, because they get rid of the white name.
Oh, that was their slave name, right?
So then they go back and they get their.
Bro, I think the whole reason racism exists is because white men are scared of black dick.
That could be it.
Have you heard that theory? So that's a theory, right? And it's funny, but but low key, it's like, dude, I think that white guys seen the Africans with some fucking hammers, dude, and they were like, oh, nah. They're stronger, faster, and bigger dick.
It's y'all fault.
I didn't say it wasn't.
You're breeding. Did you see the thing that said Baltimore is
the
incest capital of the world?
For real?
Because
that's hot.
Black incest capital of the world. Because of the slavery and breeding slaves and shit like that. They saying Baltimore's like prime spot.
Still?
I mean, I guess. They said if you like look it up.
Yeah, but they could stop fucking at this point. Like, no. I mean, that's been
I guess
a while.
they're saying that it's just
it started from that and stemmed from that, and there's lots of that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically the theory is that it's like a joke theory.
They said it started in the Eastern Shore, and then people would from the Eastern Shore ship over here. But
that sounds more realistic.
Yeah, it was
on the shore.
Yeah,
they're probably still a little bit over there on the shore, just because they're so isolated.
But yeah, Baltimore. That's capital.
Jetty. That's all they got. I heard that fucking jetty, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to the shore. Hey, thanks for coming, bro.
No problem.
You almost didn't show up. That was crazy.
Yeah, but it was kind of not crazy. It was crazy because
for us to not talk today prior and say,
we didn't talk since we said
we did,
but not about
exactly
because usually you're like, hey, tomorrow.
I know. Normally,
which is not really your job.
But, but I should be. I mean, it is. It mattered more to me. You know, I had my shit set up. Yeah, I definitely should have. That's why I said fuck. When I seen that we hadn't texted even today, I'm like, oh no, bro. Right. And you hadn't texted on my way or nothing. That's why I'm like, fuck. But thanks for coming. If you made it this far, shout out to you. Won't kill myself this week. You neither, right?
Nope.
Okay, good. Thanks for listening. Share it. Share it when I share it. And tune in next week. I'll be here.
Gang.
Gang, gang.